Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. For the benefit of those who are not familiar with the channel or watching the channel for the first time, the reason why it's called Uncommon Sense is due to the fact that we deal with everyday problems and we try to find logical solutions. Unfortunately, not everyone uses logic. So for that reason, it is called uncommon sense. Now, just want to let everybody know that we're currently live on Facebook, YouTube and Periscope and Twitter. Now, I had some difficulty today, and I have to apologize. Is that for some reason, with the change going forward 1 hour, it kind of set my laptop a little bit off the kilter, so it shows that on Facebook that the notification about the program being aired at 9:45 instead of 8:45. So I tried to resolve it as much as I can. So it is what it is. Um, and I understand that most of the people will be catching the stream uh, on the playback, which is perfectly fine. First of all, I just want to show my appreciation for all those who have subscribed to my channel. I really do appreciate it. Um, I would appreciate it for those who have not done so to please subscribe, like, and hit the bell notification to all. So therefore, whenever I do um, prepare material, you'll be notified and you have the option of catching it live or catching it on the playback. Now, the topic for tonight is the issue with toxic femininity. Now, before I get into the topic, I want to put out a disclaimer. I'm not saying that all women are toxic. There are many women who are intelligent, bright, they are productive, they're strong mentally, physically, spiritually, and what have you. However, there are some women that are toxic. So this is going to be part of a two-part series. Tonight we're going to be dealing with the issue with toxic femininity. Next Sunday, we're going to be talking about the solutions, how to deal with such women. And mind you, again, I need to make it perfectly clear. Not all women are toxic. Just like not all men are toxic. Okay? Now, before we get into the topic, I'm going to share something that happened to me last week under the topic of what the heck this is. Okay. Now, actually, there was two crazy things that happened to me. Well, one crazy thing and one crazy story. Let me just explain to you the crazy story. Last week, I was on the subway um, on my way back home, and during the subway ride, they had this individual. Now, I don't know whether this person was on his meds or off his meds, or maybe he didn't take his meds correctly, but he started acting irrationally, and and also he happened to expose himself. Uh, Fortunately for me and for most of the passengers in my subway car, he didn't approach them. But it does highlight the craziness that we have to deal with some people. Now, I'm going to share with you the other thing. And this, I just ran this across today. So just give me a moment. Okay. Okay. Now, as I previously reported, almost 1,500 municipal employees, their employment was terminated due to their refusal to be vaccinated against COVID 19. Now, I'm just looking at an article in the Post talking about there may be more municipal employees that may face termination. And this is due to the fact they have not completed their um, vaccination process. Okay, let me just read to you. Um, New York City public employees had until Friday to prove they had completed their COVID-19 vaccinations or faced the chopping block. Um, the workers had to show. Just give me a moment. Just want to put my phone on. Okay. The workers had to show that they have received the second dose of the Pfizer or Moderna vaccine. Those who received the JJ jab only needed one shot to be considered fully vaccinated. City workers were supposed to have received at least one shot of the vaccine last year to continue working, with a second dose required within 45 days. The vaccination deadline varies by agency, and enforcement of the second dose mandate has been lax. Um, the Department of Education that passed a November 18 deadline for staffers in that agency who would continue to work and collect paychecks rather than go to unpaid leave. Apologize, this computer is acting up. Okay. City Hall will not provide a number on Friday on how many failed to submit vaccinated proof, saying it will release that count in the coming days. Our goal is always to vaccinate, not terminate. And so far, over 92% of employees who were notified to submit proof of a second dose have done so, Mayor Eric Adams said in a statement to the Post. And I'm just going to park it right here. Now, the fact of the matter is, okay. The fact of the matter is, I have not come across, I mean, this is the first time I'm hearing this information, and there are many factors why employees have not been able to get the second dose. Could be scheduling problems, it could be trying to, there are many factors. So now what we're going to do is now we're going to get into the main topic. Okay, so as I indicated, the main topic is toxic femininity. Just give me a moment. Because, okay. I apologize. This computer of mine has been acting up. But just give me a moment. Um, okay, just give me a moment. Unfortunately, this computer, the reason why, okay. People, I apologize. It's just this computer is slow as molasses. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is, okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna share something. Okay. Now I'm gonna scroll down to the article where it says, okay. I'm going to give you the definition what is toxic femininity. The idea of toxic femininity refers to extreme toxic personality traits that many women develop based on how females as a whole are treated, taught how to act by society. These personality traits usually revolve around a heavy sense of entitlement and failure to take responsibility for one's own actions. Many societal double standards exist in favor of women. Don't argue with a woman, don't hit a woman back, the man should always be the one to pay, etc., which further influences this type of behavior. The media mainly focuses on the concept of toxic masculinity, but refuses to acknowledge the existence of toxic femininity. Okay, and here are some examples. Okay, number one, women who bring nothing to the table expect a man to fully support all their needs. Number two, women who over sexualize themselves while passing their office empowerment, expressing themselves Megan Thee Stallion, City Girls, Salty, and pretty much every other modern female rapper promoting a load of toxic femininity in their songs and music videos. Number three, women who claim that to want equality but refuse to take charge when put in a position to do so. Number four, women who frequently bash the physical appearance of other women. Number five, women who blame men for all their problems. Number six, women who act weak, helpless, or squeamish like a damsel in distress to get what they to get their way. Number seven, women who only seek men for financial support. Number eight, women who want to normalize the emasculation of males. Number nine, women say men are all trash. And number 10, women who refuse to acknowledge the societal double standards. And we're going to plot this here. Excuse me. I'm sorry, this, okay. 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 So that kind of gives you an idea. And again, I'm going to state this again, and I'm going to state this a couple of times throughout tonight's stream and next week's stream. I am not saying all women are toxic. What I'm saying is some are toxic, just like some men are toxic. Now, obviously, unfortunately, I'm gonna be stepping on some people's toes because even though I state this disclaimer twice already within the last 10, 15 minutes, someone's going to get upset, and I'm probably going to get a couple of dislikes. You know what? Yeah, that's life. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you some other things. And again, I apologize because my computer is acting slow. My computer is acting slow as molasses. Okay. I just want to acknowledge the fact that there are 2 people currently watching the stream. I just want to say thank you very much. Everyone is more than welcome to enter their comments or join the panel. This is an article dealing with difficult people, or could be toxic. Just give me a chance. Okay. Now here we're talking about toxic people. 12 things that they do and how to deal with them. So, we have all had toxic dust with their poison. Sometimes it's more like a drenching. Difficult people are drawn to the visible ones, and all of us have likely had or have at least one person in our lives who have us bending around ourselves like barbed wire in an endless attempt to please them, only to never really get there. Their damage lies in the subtlety and the way they can engender their passive response. It's not them, it's me. They can have you questioning overreaction, activeness, your oversensitivity, your tendency to misinterpret. You're the one who's continually hurt, or the ones constantly adjusting your own behavior to avoid being hurt, then chances are you're not the one. Okay. Just, okay. Just, I apologize. Okay. This is the first thing that they have you do. They keep you guessing about which version of them you're getting. Okay. They'll be completely lovely one day, and the next day you'll be wondering, what have you done to upset them? There often isn't any obvious that will explain the change of attitude. You just know something isn't right. They may be prickly, sad, cold, or cranky when you ask them something wrong. The answer will be most likely nothing, but they'll give you just but they'll give you just enough to let you know that there's something. Just enough might be a heaving sigh, a raised eyebrow, a cold shoulder. When this happens, you might find yourself making excuses for them, for doing everything you can to make them happy. See why it works for them. Stop trying to please them. The toxic people figure out a long time ago that decent people will go actual ordinary lengths to keep the people that they care about happy. If you attempt to please aren't working or aren't lasting very long, it may be time to stop. Excuse me. Walk away and come back when the mood is shifted. You're not responsible for anyone else's feelings. If you've done something unknowingly to hurt someone, ask, talk, and if need be, apologize. Anyway, you shouldn't have to guess. Okay. I apologize again. This computer is acting up. Okay. Number 2, if you feel as though you're the only one contributing to the relationship, You're probably right. Toxic people have a way of setting up the vibe that you owe them something. They also have a way of taking from you or something that hurts you and maintaining that you were doing it for you. This is particularly common in workplaces or relationships where the balance of power is out. I have read that 6 months ago worth of filing for you. I thought you would appreciate the experience and the opportunity to learn your way among the following categories. Okay. Now, number three is they won't own their feelings. Rather than owning their feelings, they act as though the feelings are yours. It's called projection, as in projecting their feelings and thoughts onto you. For example, someone who's angry but won't take responsibility or might accuse you of being angry with them. It might be subtle as, "Are you okay with me?" or big won't point it. "Why are you angry with me? You've been in a bad mood all day." You will find yourself justifying and defending after this will go around in circles because it's not about you. Be clearly on what's yours and what's theirs. If you're feeling though as you're defending yourself too many times against like accusations or questions that don't fit, you might be being projected on to. Okay, now we're gonna go to number 4. They make you prove yourself to them. They regularly put you in a position when you have to choose between them and someone else, and you always feel obligated to choose them. Toxic people will wait until you have a commitment and then unfold the drama. If you really care about me, you skip your exercise class and spend time with me. The problem is that enough will never be enough. Okay. Number 5, they never apologize. They will lie before they ever apologize. So there's no point in arguing. They'll twist the story, change it away, and have them retell it so convincingly that they believe their own nonsense. People don't have to apologize to be wrong. And you don't need an apology to move forward. Just move forward without them. Don't surrender your truth, but don't keep arguing. There's just no point. Okay. Number 6. They will be there in a crisis, but they will not share your joy. Okay. Just give me a moment. They'll find reasons your good news isn't great news. The classic about promotion. The money isn't great for the amount of work you're doing. About a holiday at the beach while it's going to be very hot. Are you sure you want to go? About being the queen of the universe. Well, the universe isn't that big, and you know I'm pretty sure you won't get tea breaks. So, number 7, they'll leave a conversation unfinished, and then they'll go offline. They won't pick up their phone. They won't answer texts or emails. And in between rounds of their voicemail message, you might find yourself playing the conversation or argument over and over in your head, guessing what the status of the relationship was, wondering whether you're done to upset them or whether they're dead, alive, or just ignoring you, which can sometimes feel the same. People who care about you won't let you go feeling rubbish without attempting to sort it out. That doesn't mean that you sort it out, of course, but at least they'll try. Okay. Number 8, they will use a non-toxic words with a toxic tone. The message might be innocent enough, but the tone conveys much more. Something like, "What did you do today?" Can mean different things depending on the way it's said. It could be anything from, "I bet you did nothing as usual," to, "I bet your day was better than mine. Mine was awful, just awful." and you didn't notice enough to ask. When you question the tone, they come back with, all I was said was what you did today, which is true, kind of, but not really. Number nine, they will bring irrelevant details into a conversation. When you're trying to resolve something important, toxic people bring irrelevant details from 5 arguments ago. The problem is that this is that before you know it, and you're arguing about something they did 6 months ago. Still defending yourself rather than dealing with the issue at hand. Okay. Number 10, they will make it about the way you're talking, what you're talking about. You might be trying to resolve an issue or get clarification, and before you know it, the conversation are going to move away from the issue that was important to you and onto the manner in which you talked about it. Whether there was an issue with your manner or not. You find yourself defending your tone, your gestures, your choice of words, and the body moves from when you breathe. It doesn't matter, it doesn't need to make sense. Meanwhile, your initial need is well gone, and the pile of unfinished conversation seems to be growing bigger by the day. Excuse me. Number 11, they exaggerate. I think that's self-explanatory. And number 12, they are judgmental. Well, going to get wrong sometimes, but toxic people make sure you know it. They judge you and take a swipe at your self-esteem, suggesting that you're less than because you made a mistake. We're all allowed to get it wrong now and then, but unless you've done something that's affecting them, no one has the right to stand in judgment. Okay, so now we're going to park it here. So, and I think we have a comment. One moment. Okay. Well, it's good to see you. It's good to see you in the chat, Monia. I hope you're doing well. Like I said before, this is regarding some people, women who are toxic. Men can be toxic too. So I just wanted to make that perfectly clear. Um, Now I'm going to share with you something else. Um, just give me a moment. Oh, I'm doing well too. Thank you very much, and thank you for watching the stream. Like I said before, I'm talking about some women that are toxic. Not all women are toxic, some aren't. But mind you, men can be toxic too. So I just wanted to make that perfectly clear. Okay. Now I'm going to share something else. Now this is an article I came across. Okay, it's almost 2 years old, but I think it is relevant. Toxic femininity, what it is, and how can we deal with it. Okay. We all know about toxic masculinity. But what about toxic femininity? It is really a thing, and if so, what is it? Like all kinds of toxic behavior, toxic femininity is rooted in the traits that exemplify it. Female behaviors used to manipulate other people and negatively impact the world around the toxic individual. In this article, we will discuss what it means to practice toxic femininity, the differences between toxic femininity and toxic masculinity, and what it means to be called out toxic femininity while still being progressive and feministic. Now, toxic behavior is something that most of us live and experience on a daily basis. Okay, just give me a moment. Perhaps you have a toxic boss who asks you to stay late with no overtime so that you don't have to leave early. And then maybe you have a toxic friend who blames you for everything going wrong in their life. To understand toxic femininity, you need to establish what does it mean by toxic behavior. Okay. Because here on this channel, uh, we like to I like to give clear definitions of what it is. Because unfortunately, people take words and they twist the meaning. While we can write several books on the topic of toxic behavior and toxic personalities, in short, toxic behavior occurs when people misinterpret, lie about, and exaggerate the world and or other people, then to shape and manipulate to fit their needs. Now, here are some examples of toxic behavior: creating drama out of nothing, manipulating and controlling those with falsities or guilt, being excessively needy, uh, being critical, extremely critical of other people, blaming everything on bad luck or other factors that allow them to dismiss responsibility, being envious or jealous of those around them, using other people against their wills. It is important to note that people who exhibit toxic behavior are not necessarily toxic in all areas and relationships of their lives. For example, a toxic boss might be a loving and faithful husband. Your toxic friend might be a kind of a gentle caregiver. Toxicity is not typically an entire personality disorder, rather something that can only be understood on a case-by-case basis. Okay, so now we're just going to scroll down. So we're going to scroll down just a little bit. Okay. So what does it mean to exactly exhibit toxic femininity? What does it mean to be a toxic woman? When toxicity is given a label, a toxic boss, a toxic friend, toxic parent will typically attribute the root of the toxicity to the role in the relationship relative to their victim. They get their toxic behavior from the position they hold, and they use that position to express their toxic behavior. That means when discussing toxic femininity, we are describing toxic behavior that comes from a woman's womanhood, or the attributes that can carry that are specifically unique to the biological sex or gender. Excuse me. Excuse me. Here are some general examples of toxic femininity or toxic behavior rooted on a person's womenness. Being negative, easily and justifying that behavior on her parent. Acting weak and helpless to get out of doing an unpleasant or physical task. Coercing a man into sex through various means, guilt, regret, mocking their sexuality when they're not feeling it. Feeling like a man should always be happy to have sex because they should feel privileged and lucky to have sex with her. Threatening to cause self-harm to stop a man from breaking up with her. Being physically abusive towards a man under the belief there won't be serious repercussions. Lying about birth control, faking pregnancy, just to scare to see how men will respond. Manipulating case of child custody or legal rights and the divorce by falsely accusing men of physical abuse. Now that's a okay. Now I just want to say something that makes it very difficult because whenever there is a true case of abuse, these toxic women make it harder for the true victims. The situation described are only a few examples of how modern women use their womanness to manipulate and control of those around them. In most cases, the victim of men who are emotionally or physically attracted to them. However, toxic femininity can also occur between women, which is true. Just give me a moment. Excuse me. And let me just say, I think I see a comment here. Just give me a moment. That's an interesting point. Um, and again, I want to make this perfectly clear. Excuse me. Okay. Okay. Most people are aware of toxic masculinity and what it means, or what they think it means. But the topic of toxic femininity is rarely discussed. This is partly because it's much more difficult to address the idea that women can be abusive or manipulative over other people, both men and women. Again, I want to make this perfectly clear. I am not talking about all women. Unfortunately, some are toxic. Some people are just plain toxic. This is particularly because it's much more difficult to address the idea that women can be abusive or manipulated over other people, both men and women. With so much modern situation to focus on identifying the patriarchy and the inherent disadvantages that women live with everyday life, it can seem insensitive and even ludicrous to bring up the idea of women being toxic. However, truly understand toxic femininity, it works best to view the relationship of toxic masculinity. Now we're going to just go into briefly into toxic masculinity. Okay, what's this? I think I see. Just give me a moment. Okay, okay, thank you. Okay, now toxic masculinity is more clearly defined than its female counterpart. Toxic masculinity describes the set of traditional cultural norms that exemplify by masculine behavior and socially toxic ways in which these norms manifest. And manhood is aggressively defined as a combination of social status, sex, violence, aggressive behavior, power, emotional strength, and other male personality traits. These can negatively shape the way a man behaves. Ideas like boys will be boys when discussing the serious issues such as, okay, I don't want to say the word because you two acts a little funny. Let's just say women are forced to engage in anything against that nature against their will, and female disparagement, not opening up and emotionally to the other people, which leads to mental health issues. The adult male fear of having no friends or social ties, not be able to find other men because of invisible social lines that indicate how they live and interact with other people. All these are examples of how men are shaped by culture and grow into lesser and more toxic versions of themselves without realizing it. On the flip side, toxic femininity or toxic feminine behavior is much less clearly defined for two reasons. One, there are less socially accepted discussion around this topic of female behavior of being negative or toxic. Two, women are historically much less privileged than they are today. So toxic feminine behavior isn't traditional and it's really untoxic masculine behavior. Okay, I think I see another comment. Okay, I know, but like I said, I will continue to make the point that not all women women are toxic. Even though I stated, I mean, some people will only hear what they want to hear. That's all I'm saying. Now, these are certain behaviors which include generally comes across from a place of anger, vengeance, anger, and insecurity, manifesting cunning, subtle, and controlling behavior that are socially acceptable, toxic behavior that is wrapped up in false appearance of being helpful or caring, with the excuse it is for younger condition with it. The behaviors can be difficult to recognize. Okay, can recognize because of significant damage to the relationship. Relationship changes depending on the gender of the victim, whether a man or woman, comes to a place of knowing they can do no wrong, so they have complete confidence in control of their manipulation. Outrage when they are called out because they believe the inherent social disadvantage of women means they can cross the line whenever they want. Find sexism whenever they are criticized for their behavior. Now there's a big difference between women who are toxic and women who are not toxic. Women who are not toxic, while they may not like being called out for their behavior, they're more inclined to accept their behavior and recognize the fact that they have a problem. Toxic women are not in that position to do so. And now we've got a pocket here. Oops, excuse me. So, so what I'm going to do is um, I'm going to share um, one more article. Um, just give me a moment. And again, I apologize. It's just that this computer. Now, this is an article regarding recognizing the presence of toxic femininity. Okay, so this is going to be. I just want to acknowledge the fact that there are three people watching this stream, and I just want to say thank you very much. I also want to say thank you very much with your patience because that this computer that I'm using is not exactly the most fast. It's quickest in the world. So I'm just going to share one more. Okay. Now this art is almost 3 years old, but it does deal with also deal with the topic of toxic femininity. Okay. We have heard a lot in recent years about toxic masculinity. It's been defined as behavior in men that are aggressive, violent, dominating, and dismissive and disrespectful of women. While those traits can definitely be toxic, they often seen depending upon what you are reading with or who you're speaking with or simply being toxic. But when it's women, is there such a thing as toxic femininity? Yes, there is. Oops, excuse me. Now, what we do is this is the definition. While toxic femininity is defined as certain behaviors, the idea of toxic femininity is a bit more broad and less specific. There are common stereotypes that can used to illustrate the idea of toxic femininity. The overly jealous girlfriend, the mother that smothers her children, the coworker who undermines those around her to gain advantage. All of these have general traits in common, but the ranges of potential toxic behavior is larger than the masculine flip side. Toxic femininity is generally driven by insecurity and anger or vengeance, and often manifests in controlling, cunning actions that are masked by a socially acceptable facade. These the actions may be explained with it's your own good excuse or give the false appearance of caring or being helpful because it can at times be hard to determine. Okay, and I think we have a couple more people. Just give me a moment. Good evening, Moon Chaser. Thank you enough for uh, entering into the chat. Okay. Well, look, all I'm just doing is talking facts. That's all I'm doing. It's not meant to be an anti-female thing. This is just simply talking the facts. Okay. Now we're going to go down. And whereas men's stereotypical toxic behaviors generally affect both other men and women in similar ways, female toxic behavior can vary greatly depending upon whether it's being directed towards another woman or a man. Uh, Now, this is going to talking about female to female toxicity. Women can be quite cruel to one another. In fact, uh, books and movies have been dedicated to the phenomenon of the mean girl, gossip rumors, and social exclusion and pressures to conform to certain appearance standards, which are all ways women can talk at each other and attempt to control those around them. And because these behaviors are often done with a sweet smile or a friendly tone, they could be hard to recognize and call out. Excuse me. Um, and again, I appreciate the patience that you've shown me with this laptop. Okay, so we're going to scroll down. Now we're going to be talking briefly about female male toxicity. When it comes to interaction between men and women, there are those women who leverage their gender and perceived vulnerabilities to exploit and control the men around them. Women have a unique ability to appear weak and distressed when they can often appeal to a man's natural desire to rescue the damsel in distress. By doing so, this woman is manipulating and controlling a man's behavior for her own purposes. And though there are many men who sexually harass and are even criminal in their sexual advances towards women, women aren't off the hook here. The idea of feminine wiles has been around for eons, and many women consider being able to use their sexuality to gain advantage as being nothing more than leveling the playing field. This isn't reality indicates, however, the behavior is actually different, perhaps more subtle. The form of sexual harassment And it's toxic because it's manipulative and dishonest. Proof when it comes to toxic behavior that both men and women are guilty of it. I agree. And as mentioned above, some behaviors can be more typical male and some more typically female. But there aren't any hard and fast lines drawn to gender. So while women may generally be less violent than men, and yes, many women have suffered at the hands of toxic men, that does not mean that toxic femininity is capable of causing problems and pain. And we're going to, no, we're not going to put on. And we're going to park it here. Okay. So listen. Um, okay. I think this is okay. This is how I think. I think women in some variation should have a more mm, traditional in the sense that women are meant to be more of a nurturing. Um, they be more of a us as a team. Also, women can pick up on certain things that men cannot pick up. So it should not be um, men versus women. I do think women need to be a little bit more feminine, but more importantly, I think women who have a problem um, accepting being called out for their misbehavior should try to not to take it so personal. That's what I think. That's what I think. Uh, I do appreciate the fact that three people are watching the stream, and I also appreciate the fact that we've gotten 4 likes. Um, if anyone wishes to join the panel, what I'll do is I will drop the link again. So yes, I do. Yeah, I think women do need to be feminine, but it does not mean um, that being feminine is a disadvantage. It can be an advantage. I mean, when you think about, there have been a lot of great women in history. There have been a lot of women that have achieved many things. I mean, we have women who serve on the Supreme Court. We have women who serve as leaders of nations. We have women who achieve great things as far as sports, medicine, industry, things of that nature. So women can be feminine, but yet they can achieve their dreams. So, and again, as I stated before, this was not meant to be. I see that. Okay. Um, as far okay, okay. You know what? When it comes to being in the kitchen, I think both men and women should be in the kitchen. Okay. Um, sometimes the man might come home earlier, so there's nothing wrong with the man cooking a meal for his wife or his lady or his wife or what have you. There's nothing wrong with that. So, but do I believe women being in the kitchen all the time? No, but I do believe that there's certain roles that women play, and there's certain roles men play. And let's see. Moon Chaser, you might. Okay, you know what? I don't know. You might have a point on that. If any of the ladies who are watching it wish to make a rebuttal, by all means, do so. Um, and I do appreciate the fact that that you have listened to me talk for over an hour. I usually don't do this. I usually don't talk this long by myself, but it's okay. You have to do things a little differently, and sometimes you have to go outside of your comfort zone. So um, now I'm just going to see if anybody. Okay, excuse me. I apologize. I don't know what. You know what? It seems like YouTube is acting a little crazy. Okay. Well, when you think about it, many of the chefs, professional chefs, amen. Well, okay. Well, there's nothing wrong talking to yourself. Might be a problem when you listen to yourself. So, but in any case, like I said before, this is going to be a two parts. This is going to be a two-part series. Um, what we're going to be doing next Sunday is that we're going to deal with how we can deal with women who are toxic, because there is a right way and there is a wrong way. Unfortunately, sometimes it could be very hard. Uh, what is what is the mature way to deal with someone who's toxic? And I'm going to say it again: men are just as capable of being toxic, and women are very capable of being toxic. Let's see. I agree. Good evening, Fulana. Well, first of all, thank you very much. I do believe the responsibility is action. And let's see. Well, you know what? I'll put in the chat one more time, because unfortunately I have not learned how to pin. Okay. Okay. Oh my goodness gracious. Well, and again, I know I said it like 10 million times, but I'm going to keep saying it again. Not all women are toxic, okay? Some are. So the whole point is to get into a mature discussion regarding uh, what is toxic femininity and how to deal with it. I do appreciate the fact that you know there are people actually watching. Okay. You know what? That's your opinion, and I'm going to respect it, Moonchaser. I don't want to get. I mean, I don't want to get the women on the chat. You know. Uh, okay. I don't know about that, Moonchaser. I don't know. I mean, Fulana does not come across as being toxic. Okay. And I'm not just saying that because she's watching it. It's just that basically, the few dealings that I've dealt with her, she doesn't come across as being toxic to me. And I'm sure for Lana will probably have something to say about it. So, what's this? Let's see. Really? Okay, you know what? I would. Oh. You're welcome, Fulana. Look. I just try to keep it. I just try to keep it real. That's all. I just try to keep it real because you know there's always three sides to a story. There is my version, there is your version, and then there's the actual truth. So I do appreciate the fact that we have now 5 people watching the stream. I want to everybody know I really appreciate this very much. So what I'm going to do is, what's this? Crazy? Okay, well, you're entitled to your opinion, Moon Chaser. That's all I got to say on the subject. You're entitled to your opinion. I'm not the type of person to come to conclusions unless I actually have an opportunity to see it for myself. Because unfortunately, we have too many people to jump to conclusions without getting all the facts. So I'm just waiting to see if someone else has a comment. Um, okay, she's crazy nice too. Okay, I have never heard. I have never heard that type of terminology, but it's okay. Maybe um, you're trying to say that she's extremely nice, Moon Chaser. I mean, I'm not even. You know what? Better yeah. Okay, let's see. Yes, yeah. You know what? To be perfectly honest, like I said, I have not had many opportunity to interact with Lana. Uh, but okay, let's see what we have. Good evening, daughter. I know you must be enjoying the climate over there in Puerto Rico. I mean, okay, yes, I agree. Okay, yes. So, would anybody else wishes to join the? I mean, I'm gonna put down the link one more time. Oops, I'm gonna put down the link one more time because the fact of the matter is, I don't usually do this much talking, and I'm sure you know. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it out one more time. Okay. Well, you know what? I'm glad you're happy. I'm glad you're happy that it's warm and what have you. Um, I need to go. I need one of these days. I need to visit Puerto Rico. I haven't been there. Oh my goodness. When was the last time I was in Puerto Rico? 2007, I think. Let's see. Oh yes. Yeah, actually, I did. Moon Chase. I actually saw the video. I think it was really good. And we have someone here. So before I let my guest in, I'm just going to state the disclaimer. The views um, of the guests are not necessarily those of the host of the channel. Any attempt to copy the content without the permission of Hosseinic or the channel is prohibited. By appearing on the call, you waive your rights to your images to your image. Any attempt to some of the views that people might have may be considered offensive. If you do not like the content, you can block the channel. And good evening, Joaquin. Okay. Okay. Well, you know what? Okay. Okay. Rakim, I
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Okay.
Okay. So how are you doing
Okay.
tonight?
Shout out to my YouTube dad, Jose. How you doing tonight?
Okay. I
Okay.
don't know how much.
I don't know how much.
Okay. Do you have like an extra
Okay.
tab
Do you have
on?
like an extra tab on? Not that I know of. Hold on one second. Let me see.
Okay.
How about now? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay.
Okay.
So,
Uh,
how's everything going?
okay. I don't know if
Okay.
you
I
caught any
caught
of the
any of
stream.
the
The tip that
stream,
the
the tip
topic for
that
tonight
the
is
topic.
toxic femininity.
Well, I'm just coming from the grocery store, so I haven't caught much of the stream. Can you give me a synopsis? Shout out to Mo Chase. What's up, brother? How you doing? Shout out to my boy Moon, one of the coolest brothers over here on this side of the internet.
Okay. Well, basically, you have certain characteristics regarding women who are toxic. And again, I yes, you know what? It really would have been a great to have you, but it is what it is. I'm just going to briefly give a couple examples. Talk basic because I did go through a lot of material. But basically, you have certain women who they cannot take accountability for their actions. It's always centered on them. They blame others for their situation. At times, they could, use their feminine charms as a way to get an advantage, and it could be not just directed towards men; it could be directed towards women as well. Okay.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's we've seen that grow in a lot of these spaces today. The entitlement, the deflection, the lack of accountability that has been taking place for quite a long time. I mean, even when you look at beforehand, even if you look at before the internet, when we had shows like Rolanda, we had shows like um, Phil Donahue, Jenny Jones, Blake, um, like all of these different talk show hosts with talk shows hosts where they would get on like on these talk shows and just they wouldn't have any type of accountability for their actions. Like as far as the type of men that they dealt with, it was always the man's fault or the man was deceiving in some type of way, and they just decided that everything is men's fault. And somebody gave a great quote. I can't remember exactly who said this quote, but they said only in first world society can a lot of women complain about everything that has been built for them. And this is exactly the type of things that we're dealing with. I even ran past a video of a YouTuber who said that you know he made a video about modern women were concerned that if war broke out, men won't defend them. And for some women, men will defend, but for a lot of these women, I mean, throughout all the all of the, just outright arrogance, entitlement, the feel like the need to, disrespect men that you feel that are beneath you and all this other stuff. Men have it's nothing to gain out of protecting these women. I'm sorry, it's nothing to gain. Like, I mean, I'm not protecting any woman that hates me. I'm not protecting anyone that looks down on my existence based off of some pretty much figment of her imagination and the delusion of ego. I'm not protecting anybody like that. Unfortunately, reality's gonna smack you in the face. And if you don't know that it's real out here, you better realize it quickly and get yourself some type of firearm, some type of weapon protection.
That's true.
That's
Denise,
true.
I have a
Denise,
suggestion.
I
Um,
have a suggestion.
you know what?
You know
We
what?
can do this a stream regarding toxic femininity in Spanish. Maybe Denise, if you will be available to be a co-host on that topic, because we really would appreciate your perspective. Okay. Some women are, some aren't. I mean, I do remember one woman referred to me as old. Denise, I got a need of you. I got a need of you, Denise. Okay. Um, but continue.
But
Continue, King.
continue, I think.
And in one area as well that I gotta fault a lot of the men is that we see a lot of these red flags in these women, and it's best for us to just in my personal opinion, stay away from these type of women because there's no sense in getting involved with the type of person only to for that person to make your life miserable down the line, and you find yourself in the situation where you're being, railroaded by, the judicial system as far as child support goes, or as far as, and because I had a conversation, shout out to Morena, I had a conversation with Morena yesterday about that, and that's true. Like we know the difference, like in certain women, and like you can't allow lust to try to, pretty much get you involved with these type of women to the point that, you end up falling victim to a lot of their toxic ways and all of that. And, this the toxic femininity is definitely, playing a part in role reversal today, is playing a part in the way society views things today. And it's like that some of these women they want traditional men, but they don't want to conform to traditional. They don't want to conform to traditional norms no more. But they still want men to conform to their traditional roles, and it's like when you look at the commercials, when you look at like stuff that's promoted on social media, everything is promoted towards women and women empowerment, and women are better than men, and like it's not even about equality anymore. It's just about sheer power, and that's what we're seeing. It's about sheer power. You can't speak on a woman. You can't say anything, even if you're seeing negative things in 3D right in front of your face. You can't say anything. No matter what, it's always the man's fault. And then on top of it, the men that they claim that they want you to be are the same type of men that they don't want. Like you're not gonna respect the man that's gonna allow you to run over him. You're not gonna respect the man that's gonna allow you to talk crazy to him. But these are the men that they say that they want, but in reality, I don't know. And in some cases, and I hate to say it like this, but in some cases, it seems like a lot of these toxic, not all women, of course, not all, because I got to make that statement before saying this, but it seems like a lot of these women really have the mindsets of children. They really definitely have the mindsets of children.
Excuse me, Ramon. The link is there if you want to join the panel. I just want to let you know that.
Shout out to my boy Ramon. Shout
And
out to my boy
Denise,
Ramon.
I would be if I were you, I'll be very mindful of what you say about us men. Okay, we know you birth us, but just as we need you, you need us as well. And let's see, that's true.
That's true.
Like when you look at like a lot of these women's like rhetoric as far as being strong and independent, and we don't need men, and they'll say that they'll say, I make this amount of money in corporate, and that's cool. Handle your candle, handle your candle. Make sure that you're making as much money as you possibly can. But like that's cool and all, but you're sitting there saying this in a corporate building in your air conditioned or your well heated office that men built. But that are like and it's just crazy to me that the delusion can be this bad to the point, and the delusion is affecting women in regards of their perspective on things, because they're saying that they're saying one thing, but behind closed doors they're dealing with depression, they're dealing with not being able to find anybody, and the crazy thing about it is, a lot of brothers, we have to pay close attention to that, because these are the same women that will turn around because they felt like their delusion held them back, and their impossible things held them back on who they wanted to deal with. They're the type of women that go sabotage the next generation of women, you know, and, and send them down this rabbit hole. We've been seeing this with feminism for quite some time. A lot of these women that created these ideas and sparked these ideas, they're no longer here. They're long gone. But these ideas continue to live on and affect the minds of the young women. And then even for the ones that say things like, for instance, the ones that say things, oh, we our message, we realized that we was wrong, for the message that we pushed in the '70s. It's too late. It's too late. Like the damage is done. You get that apology, the damage is done. It's like, I remember somebody joking. It was a friend of mine that had a joke that said, God, and I don't know if she would have been the president. If Hillary Clinton, became the president, and like what I would do to their emotions. What if she was happening to detonate a nuclear warhead on somebody? Like, some of these women, they can detonate a nuclear warhead, and then say, "Oh, you know what? I was just in my feelings. We really don't want war with Syria, and Syria, I'll apologize." No, it's on that. It's late. It's on after that. Like you just skipped out a whole, two villages and one city. Like it's on after that. No turn back. Like, and I think that some women, they don't realize, because like they're not thinking from a logical standpoint. Certain things you let out of your mouth, certain things that you say, and certain you feel like you have a certain mindset and the ideology, you can't come back from it. Nobody can deal with that.
Okay. Good evening, Ramon.
Hey, good evening, Don Jose. Thanks for having me. What's going on, Rakim? Everything all right?
Okay.
What's going on, Martin? Everything all right?
Man, my boy Ramon, what's going?
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Um,
What up in here? What up in here? Um, Again, Don Jose, I appreciate you letting me on. I wasn't. Uh, I kind of was in the middle of something, and I didn't know if I wanted to join, but yeah, I just wanted to kind of like put in a couple of cents into the subject. Now, if we go back when it comes to feminism and kind of like the first and second wave, those waves of feminism were more understandable. I mean, as to the reasons why did they happen. I mean, the first wave, it will be kind of like more about a woman being able to vote, being able to have a voice outside of the house. That's understandable. In the second wave of feminism, it was more about women being able to have kind of like more autonomy when it comes to having a career and getting educated and all of that. To a great degree, that's understandable. But the thing is that in certain aspects, it became kind of like the whole toxicity thing was started to happen back then, kind of like around the time of the flower power movement and the radical 60s. And some of the toxicity that we're talking about was already kind of happening back then, but it wasn't so obvious because it was women being able to get into the workplace, getting more educated, and having more equal rights with men, and having the whole reproductive rights. I mean, some of the seeds that help sprout the whole toxicity thing were being planted back then. Now, of course, I will not want to, because this is the thing. This is the thing. That's how this is how we know that we men generally can be more fair and just, because generally the vast majority of us, we don't want to hurt women. We don't want to oppress women. We don't want to take rights away from them. We don't want to do that. But the thing is that there are some of the more toxic feminists of the third way that we're dealing with right now. They are the ones that actually believe to kind of like follow what Joaquin was saying, that actually are believing that the world will be a better place if all of us men are killed off. Huh? And they actually believe that they can run the society and they can run the world by themselves. They haven't thought about it. They haven't thought about what would that actually take. And that's toxic.
Yeah.
Denise.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
you,
Kind of like that's kind of like some Disney princess fantasy. What you're describing there, where you,
you
there are
know,
all of these queens and princesses that are sitting up in a mansion or a castle, sitting on their ass, not doing shit. That's Disney fantasy. Okay, I'll stop now.
oh my goodness gracious. Something. What what I find amazing is that you know men built the buildings. Okay, we did the construction, we did the infrastructure, what have you. So if you take us out of out of the picture, that means the infrastructure goes to pot, because no woman is going to be building bridges, no women are going to be building roads and what have you. So whatnot. Now I'm going to show a little something. Just bear with me. See, hopefully this is the right one. Let's see. Okay. Actually, this is something. Just give me a moment. Okay, here it is. So that's gonna be the theme for season 3. Revenge of the Baby Boomers.
Okay, okay.
So, okay. Let's see what's been said. Excuse me? Girls run the world? That's the case. Maybe that's the reason why the world's so screwed up.
Yeah, yeah. That's what Beyonce told you. I know.
Yeah, and like the crazy thing, like I don't think like a lot of women are like they don't really understand what like to be a man. Don't understand the harsh reality that us as men have to go through. Like we don't get Colin, we don't get anybody telling us things are gonna be okay. We can be in the most traumatic situation. We have to figure it out. Um, like another thing, like for instance, you see like a lot of this online, even in person. Women, that disrespect men and talk down to men like he's nothing. Men don't get away with that with other men. Like, and that's why we're very, even when it comes to respecting people's space and respecting, because we know things escalate to physical violence. And we just on Moon stream. Shout out to Moon. Moon grew up in the Bronx. Like that's a very, especially back then, that was a very dangerous area. So just imagine saying like talking to somebody in a very talk to somebody very disrespectful way, or talking to someone like you're beneath them. I mean, they're beneath you, and as a man, like something like can happen to escalate to physical violence, or even to death. And that's why men know how far things can go. So we try to respect each other as much as possible. And if we do show disrespect, then men are prepared to take it there if need be. If you're showing disrespect, that means you're thinking to the standpoint, I'm ready to go. This is a situation. A lot of women don't understand it. You have a lot of women that are usually in their emotions, or just and we're not talking about women, of course, have great women out there. Talk about topic ones. They feel that they can just talk down to men, talk down to talk down in a negative way, and like like you're talking to, especially like age things changing. That may not be a good idea. Of course, we grew up different, so we still look at them. But some of these young guys growing up, they don't look at you as equal. So it may, go that route. And I think that I don't know, a lot of them don't take into accountability. Like they don't take things into logical perspective when it comes to thinking about the dangers, about what it takes to build habits or things, or like they just don't. It's almost like it's like living in some type of fairyland, something like some of these toxic women.
Excuse me, daughter, $20,000 for a Birkin? Are you for real? Are you freaking for real?
I think those things cost more. It's like they cost as much as a small house or something.
I mean,
Yeah, 20,000. That'd be like the cheapest on eBay.
I guess maybe she thinks we're walking ATMs.
Yeah, because no, but there are women that do have that mentality that they think that money grows on trees and it is
Yeah.
owed to them because of their gender.
Okay.
And no, it's not owed to them. It is not.
Okay. Well, I do appreciate the fact that this string has 7 likes, and considering that I was talking, for about an hour, because usually I don't talk that long, because I don't like to talk that long. I mean, who wants to hear a 59-year-old fart talk? No, but I really no, but all serious, I do appreciate the support that I'm getting tonight. The fact all the people coming in with their comments in the chat, even the trolling. Okay, it's okay. Okay, I think. Excuse me. Take a loan.
No. Okay.
Uh,
Yeah. We have to take a loan to pay for the Birkin bags, and
Denise,
also we have to take.
you're asking for me to take up the chancleta and hit you over the head with it.
Oh, don't say that. That's abusive. Oh, that's toxic masculinity. You can't say something like that. That's violence. That's That's physical terrorism. Because those are the cutesy little terms that they come up with. I mean, anything, any trying to bring some kind of accountability to them. It's like, nah, no, oh, no, that's abusive. That's violent. I mean, just telling them something, it's violence. You can't do that.
Well, as I recall, Denise did say that I can hit you with the chancleta whenever she misbehaves.
I don't know. Some feminists will come out and and will come in wearing a cape, trying to put you on blast as an abuser and a woman beater, and those accusations fly all over the place. And
I know,
yeah,
I know.
yeah.
Well,
Hey,
Denise,
no, but you
Denise,
ladies, the ladies should, well, at least one of them should come up and defend the feminism, defend the sisterhood. I mean, we'll take it. We can take it.
Yeah, that 2000 working at. Yeah. I guess so. After purchasing that, I might as well just forget
okay,
out.
whoa. I got to address this. Excuse me, I got to address this. Excuse me. There's no way I'm going to take out a $20,000 loan. Not even for my lady. Give me a freaking break.
Get get something from Chinatown. Get a replica or something. Yeah, that's gonna have to do it. That's gonna have to do it because some of those replicas do look very close to the original.
Very close to the original.
Yeah, I know. It'd be like working, made in Hong Kong.
Okay, wait a minute. I gotta take a look at this.
Hit me with this with a cyber chantleta to get a lot of airbreak. All right, all right.
I don't think she knows what it is. To
Uh,
be honest, I don't even know what it is.
I don't know. She will probably will be like, no, you can't spend something like that. I mean, something nice and cute that is only a fraction of the price. I'm sure she will be fine with it. But nah. Those are status symbols. I mean, every man likes a Rolex, but most of us can't have one.
Okay. Let me see what's this.
A whole,
Oh my goodness gracious.
a whole dustpan. Wow. Wow.
Denise turned into a divester.
Yeah. Yeah, sounded like a divestor. The Dusties. Oh,
Oh my goodness. Next thing,
okay. I'm a dustpan
the
now.
next thing she's gonna be
oh, my
calling me a
feelings.
Dusty.
Yeah. Now we're all dustpans because we have something to say about toxic. Well, I don't know the toxic femininity. I think the Morena says something about it not being like a real thing, but toxic feminism is a thing. That's pretty much the third weight of it. Oh
Okay,
yeah, that I believe.
okay, but Ramon, do you know how many times I've said not all women are toxic tonight? Now I'm sure now, I can say it 10 million times.
Oh no,
Some
They don't hear.
someone would get upset.
Yeah. They don't hear that part. They don't hear that. It's like you never said it. You can say it 1,400 times in 10 minutes, but it's like you never said it. You never
Yeah, of
said it.
course. Because we're men.
Of
Everything
course.
is our fault. COVID is our fault. The war and between the invasion and the Ukraine is our fault. The fact that we're into debt, it's our fault. Everything is our fault. Don't you know that, Ramon?
Yeah. It's always our fault. It's always our fault because, and you know who sounds like that? Always blaming someone else. Get ready, ladies. Get ready. You know who else usually sounds like that? Always blaming someone else and never taking accountability for themselves. Children. Oh yeah, children do the same
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. That's exactly what I said.
Children do the same thing generally. Maybe some of us are into some feminine energy and won't take accountability for something. But for the
look what
most
my
part,
daughter.
us
Excuse
men,
me. Look
we
what my
take
daughter put
accountability.
down.
Mhm. What's that?
Look what my daughter put down.
Uh, yeah, you're gonna choke on it. You're gonna choke on the dust, on our dust,
On our
because
top.
because we're dusty like that. Uh-huh.
We're something like that.
Yeah, you're right, Modena. Stay away from topic one. I had to give you a shout out about that,
Yeah.
about with that, and I said that we, that's a must. It's just like, man, it just seems like they everywhere. Sorry, it just seems like their voices are definitely the loudest.
But this isn't.
No, but we don't mean to. We don't mean to. We don't mean to. I mean, I want to be able to look at a woman and look at her as an adult. But if her behavior says otherwise, then I'm going to look at her as otherwise. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. I
For
respect
the
an adult woman all day.
for the 99th gazillion time. Okay, not all women are toxic. Okay, some are. Just like
Yeah,
some
but
men are
yeah.
toxic.
But you know why they never hear that? You know why they never hear that? Well, because when we say that men ain't shit or that everything is men's fault, they do mean in all of us. That's the mentality. That's the mentality.
That's
They
the
mean all of us.
mentality.
Yeah. So
Yeah, and I think the things then like the toxic women behave like those are toxic women that know exactly what they're doing, and they're very manipulative. They're very manipulative. They're very want to stay one step at a time and be able to to get one over. When I remember watching when I was watching video, and he was in child support. He missed like paying child support because he was injured, and this woman like literally had him arrested and got a felony on his record to the point that even the women that was served had said that you just this far now he might be able to get payments because you got a felony on his record. So what type of job is he going to be able to get to make the payments they got missed because he was injured and off work? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
hurt that man to the point that man had cried. Like, man was literally crying, and in the courtroom, you know.
Yeah, because the system
And
is
then I'm
being
not sure you
used
got it.
You
uh-huh.
um,
It's kind of like a
Yeah,
loop.
you got a point. You got a point, man. You don't agree with that. You got a point. You got a point. And what about? Did you ever see that? Anybody ever see the episode of Iana Fix My Life where woman had made her kids believe that the dad was involved in type child on his children until she like they made her take a lie detector test and it turns out she had lied and he never did anything like that. And anybody know what this one's response was? No accountability. If you believe that, then why didn't you fight hard for him? That's her response. I just saw that man's fist balling up, just like
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Hey, Rocky, maybe you are on the road because you are breaking up a lot. I mean, we can make out what you're saying, but we're having difficulty because you're breaking up. Uh, but yeah. I hear that part that you were saying, and that well, certain on certain instances, lie detector tests and mandatory DNA tests for newborns. That should be mandatory. There should be a law for it because there are too many. There are too many instances in which the guys are having to raise a kid that isn't theirs and pay for it. that is not theirs. I mean,
Okay.
that should be mandatory. It really should.
Guys, take a look at what Denise put down.
All right, so there's a problem with my mic, so I'm gonna back out for a little bit. I'll be back in, Jose.
All right.
Okay.
Of electric. What? They refuse to purchase whatever a woman wants. Okay, well, you see, that's feminist supremacy. That's what that is. That's
Yes.
feminist supremacy. You wanna say that toxic femininity is not a thing? That's feminist supremacy.
I'm so happy that Clara is not that way.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Morena, maybe you should start selling those pants. Say something like those pants for the dusties, for for the dusty men. I mean, those are gonna sell. Those are gonna sell because they're gonna be waving them around and putting it in men's faces. They're gonna look like idiots. But you can try that. You can sell that.
Mhm.
Yeah. Divestor thinkings, divestor
Oh my
thoughts,
goodness
divestor
gracious.
phrases printed on the dustpans.
Yeah.
We are taking the dust out. Uh, okay, well, go right ahead.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Dustbusters.
Yes.
Ta-da-da-da-da-da. Oh, shoot. Nah, but, well, that's what it's coming down to. That's what's coming down to. And one thing that the Rakim was saying that is very true is that being able to complain about men is a first word thing because nowhere else does that really happen. Is it might be starting to happen in the so-called Latin America. Hopefully, there is enough pushback so that it doesn't become viral in our lands in our cultures because in all cultures, okay, yes, women women can speak their mind, but in the end they do want men to play their role, so there has to be balance. Yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious. Denise,
Yeah.
I would love for you to pop by next week.
Morena too. Morena can
Let's,
make an
you know
appearance.
what? Okay, you know what? I have dropped the link. I don't know how many times. So
No, I was thinking about it. I was thinking about it because I wasn't feeling too good, but decided to take a moment and talk to you guys.
okay.
It was worth it. It was worth it.
Oh my god.
Big butts. What? I like big butts. I like little butts. Oh, that no. You know what? Hey, Chaser. You know what makes a big butt difficult to clean? When women have those long press-on nails, those claws and the for nails. I mean, those women can't wipe their ass right. They can't.
um. Do you remember, Ramon, how upset Denise got regarding the greeting I gave you
The greeting card.
when I did your interview.
Yeah. The animated thing, but oh, she's still mad. Don't tell me she's still mad. Come on, Denise. Hey,
Good evening, Christina.
hey,
Well, I
Christina.
well
Hey, you
I
can come on up.
okay. Well, I plan to this week. I'll be send a message to a couple of people. One of them I would love to interview is Morena, so I have to come up with a real dope greeting for her.
Mm-hmm.
which
Mm-hmm.
which means Denise will be super mad. Oh my! So
Hey, hey, Morena, that's how we're hardwired. If a woman has it round and thick and it's natural, hey, it's gonna draw our attention. That's how we are. I mean, we can't help it. That's something that it is kind of like it appeals to kind of like a more baser instinct where we're like, well, when it comes to mating, reproduction, I mean, she will be more like she will be more
Well, if
apt
well if
for it.
well if a woman can talk about a man's sexual organ and the man's butt,
And they
the
do.
man's chest, I mean, we
And
should be
they
able to.
do. They talk about a man's physical appearance amongst themselves. They just won't admit it to us. They do. They do. They do. They do. I mean, they do wonder about how big the guy is in his pants. They worry about those things. They talk about those things about amongst each other. It's just that they would always deny it to us. That's just how it is.
No, because of course they got they're gonna say no, we're different,
No,
you
like they don't
know.
care about that. Yeah, bullshit. Yeah, I'm saying it. I'm saying it.
Okay, that's it here.
What is it? What is it? Make you guys pushovers and then get upset? Yeah, well, it takes a little bit of experience because we all have made a mistake. Maybe we have fell for the big butt, for the big round butt, and we kind of get a little thirsty for it. Yeah, it happens to us. It
Yeah.
happens, but with experience comes kind of like comes the instinct to kind of like knowing more what to expect because these women that are the ones that look the finest, they can be the biggest finessers, and they can get a man in trouble. So a man has to really be on his wits about certain type of women. Oh yeah,
Oh,
oh,
look at this.
to get in depth to get that. No, nah, thick butt on. Nah, that Birkin, no. Maybe out of Chinatown. I'll go to Chinatown. I get and get one there.
Well, I'm glad Clara does not ask me for such stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
No Birkin. No, hell no. You're gonna have to talk to Cardi B or something.
well, okay, well, well, I'm not. I'm gonna be mindful because someone said some negative stuff about her and she got sued and whatnot.
No, but that was because no, but that was because she said something about her having STDs, and it turned out not to be true. That's why this other YouTuber ended up getting sued and lost too. Oof, and she's on the hook for millions because
Excuse me.
she this other YouTuber is on the hook for
No, but
millions.
I'm just looking what Denise put down.
But if they don't get us the Birkins, then they're unfit to get that cake. Uh okay. Well, you ladies, you give your cake to someone else. And so there's someone else. They are the ones that owe you the Birkin, not us. Sorry. No, not today. Not today.
Okay, well, uh, I would have loved to see some of the ladies jump on the panel and
Yeah, giving you ladies a chance to speak your side, the female side of the argument.
but you know what they go. But well, let me not say anything because
Say it,
no,
say it.
no,
Get
no.
all instigated with it. Instigate something.
What's this again?
Let's Americanize her. Ah, okay. Let's
No,
Americanize
no, no,
Clara.
no, 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 no. I did not go to the D. That's what I
Ah,
did. No, no, no,
yeah, they
no.
want to Americanize her so they can turn her into a finesser, and she's gonna be finessing you. Is Broca said on that? Yeah. She's the one who said that, who made the allegation about Cardi B having an STD. Wow. And the thing is that she had a chance. She had a chance to take that back, and she didn't want it to. She got stubborn with it, kept insisting that she had an STD, got sued, and lost. And lost. Now she's on the hook for like almost $4 million to Cardi
And
B,
I think
somebody who's
there might be,
already
and I
a
think there might,
multimillionaire. You know.
and I
Yeah.
think there might be another lawsuit.
Well, I don't know if it can be appealed. I don't know about that, but there could be further litigation on this thing. Hmm.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's see what Fumana said. I apologize. This. Okay.
Who has a lot in common? Fulana.
I have no idea.
Already infecting Jose with his dust. No, that was his whole reaction. He doesn't want you guys to poison Clara's mind. Leave her alone.
No. Look, Clara, she's a sweet lady. Okay, she's a nice lady. Okay, I
Yeah.
love her as she is. I don't want anyone infecting her with all this mental
Yeah.
insanity.
No, you don't want her to you don't want her turn into a finesser.
Oh, bro. Okay. Okay.
No, they're looking to censor me so that so that you don't get any ideas with what I'm saying.
Yeah, but they're forgetting one thing. This is my platform.
Yeah. Tell them, Jose. Tell them.
Yes, I can say whatever I want. And I'm old enough, so therefore you. Okay,
Then
what's
do not
this?
bring her too. Oh, that's they're saying as it is inevitable. If you bring her to the stage, she's immediately gonna get Americanized, and she's gonna turn North American feminist, and she's gonna become difficult, and you're not gonna want her anymore. Ay.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Well, you're gonna have to have that talk with her.
Yes, believe me. Let's see what Fulon has to say.
No. The thing is that there are so many of them. I mean, there are so many gold diggers. It makes it difficult for
Okay.
us as guys to get with a real one.
Um, Denise, you're implying that Clara doesn't have the proper education? I mean, what makes you say that? I mean, the fact, why? Because she's feminine?
Yeah.
That she have not drank the Kool-Aid?
Yeah. Saying that she needs to get somebody who she can divest, not somebody who's a dusty. Man, that term is getting overused as hell.
Yeah. But you know what's the funny thing? I plan to interview her on my channel, and I was thinking having Denise as the co-host. Now I'm gonna have to rethink that a little. Okay, let's see.
uh, Showing dusty.
Daughter, why are you throwing your father under the bus? I thought you loved me, daughter.
You see?
I mean, I see a side at you. I don't
You see
like.
the feminism. The feminism is flowing out of her.
Yeah, I can see. I can see Denise has been drinking the toxic feminine Kool-Aid.
Oh,
Oh
Toxic
my
feminism. Oh,
goodness gracious.
boy. Come on, Christina. Hot damn.
Oh boy, my goodness. Wow. Let's see. What's this? Well,
Man,
okay, I
man,
will.
that's insane.
I am not going to touch that comment. I mean,
Well, if they really had to learn to do that by now, they didn't learn from the generation before them. We have a problem.
but remember, Ramon, it's our fault.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Everything is our fault.
Everything is gonna be our fault. Huh?
Of course, a person dying of cancer, it's our fault. A person having an ingrown toenail, it's our fault. The fact that the war and in Ukraine, it's our fault. Don't you know that? The fact that the economy sucks, it's our fault.
Yeah,
Don't you
one
know
of
that?
one of them were to sleep on a banana peel is our fault too.
Yes. Okay. If a person is infected, has cancer, it's our fault. Okay,
Yeah,
let's see. What's
even
this?
though we die of cancer too,
Okay, let's see.
not just women.
Okay, let's see what. Oh my god!
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm sure they will try to recruit you. They will try to recruit you, and they will want you to be single, strong, and independent. because you
And
don't,
die alone with a dog.
and die along with a dog because they don't want you to be with a man. I
And the
mean, now that they
dog.
have men, they're gonna want you to break up with Justin, and because he's toxic masculinity.
Excuse me.
Uh-huh.
Well, you know
Yeah.
what? As messed up the world is, if women had to do the infrastructure, it would be in a worse shape. Wow. Okay, let's see this.
Yeah. Well, the vice president is a woman.
Okay. Denise, do you want Kamala Harris to be president? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna ask. Okay, I'm gonna ask this question. If there anybody that would like to see Kamala Harris as president, put a 1 in the chat. Those
Uh,
who don't, put a 2.
nah, a
And
lot of
let's see
people don't.
what's gonna be the response.
Who's gonna want her to be president when a lot of people already don't like her as vice president? A lot of people don't like. Please.
Okay, well, I'm gonna give my response. So again, if you think Kamala Harris should be president, put a 1 in the chat.
No.
If
no.
you think she should not, put a 2. Yes, I would love to see a woman president, someone that's qualified.
Well. I mean, it's not gonna matter that she's a woman as long as she has a proper platform. She actually knows what she's talking about, or she's not a puppet of her political party. Because so what?
Okay.
She's a woman, but she's just gonna follow the party politics that put her in office. What difference does it make whether she's a man or a woman?
Okay, well, let me just.
If she can be bought out by big pharma, the oil companies, and and the weapon manufacturers, if she can be bought out by them, then what difference does it make that she's a woman?
Uh, Denise. So you don't want to speak on that? Well,
Oh man. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, they're gonna they're gonna poison our beer. They're gonna poison our food. Gonna kill us all.
Denise. So you
Mm.
mean you want to do your cyber father harm? I thought you loved me.
Yeah, a lot of women low key think about that. They fantasize about that.
Well, the next time that Denise appears on the platform, we're going to have this discussion. And the reason why she didn't get all the spicy questions is because I wanted to make sure that she felt at home.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, let's see this. Well, you know what? That's you're entitled to your point of view. So I'm not going to say anything. What's this? Let's see what's okay.
Well, melatonin is a sleep aid. It's a sleep aid. It's not necessarily gonna kill you.
So let's see.
Melatonin.
So let's take a look. Denise wants me to be bandaged to an island to drink mojitos. Now she wants to poison me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Denise, this is how you treat your cyber father?
And anti-freezing. Uh huh.
Oh wait, what's this?
Oh no, anti-freeze. I think has a smell. I've had to put anti-freeze in my car, and that has a smell. That has a little bit of a smell, so it will come out in the food.
You know what? The fact of the matter is, we can continue. We can continue this stream for hours, but
We could. We could. Well, but then again, I understand that you're gonna make a part two to this, right?
yes, there's going to be a part two. Now, in part two, we're going to be talking about how to deal with toxic women.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and I know I said this for the 89th gazillion time, but I'm going to say it
Uh
again,
huh.
even though
No, we don't mean every single one of you, but
yes,
unfortunately, if there are a significant percentage of you that are like that, then that's too many, and that's a problem.
yeah. Well, anyway,
Oh, with Xanax, really?
no, look, I said it from the beginning. I said it again. I'm going to keep saying it again. What? Denise, I didn't know you had a vicious side in you.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Now I really gotta rethink that idea of having you as a co-host when I interview Clara. Oh my goodness, very gracious
Chaser, you're gonna put them on the track? Is that what you mean?
me. I couldn't say. Well, I'm gonna put on the link one more time. If any of the ladies wish to enter, if not, we're gonna cut this string as usually I don't do more than 2 hour strings. It's just that this is so juicy. But
All right.
well, okay. Well, you know what? It's okay. But I just want you to know, Fulana, that hopefully at another stream, you can hop on the panel and show your expertise on any given topic. All right. Well,
Oh, Falana, too much noise where you're at, you mean?
it could be either at her
Okay,
end
good.
or maybe before.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, well, try and make sure to come up for the next one. There's gonna be a part two.
Yeah,
So
there's definitely going to be a part two. And actually, I'm thinking about doing a stream about this in Spanish.
yeah, yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know if it's about that subject. I don't know if you wanna maybe a different stream, but it is in Spanish, and we touch on the same on that same subject because
Well,
we wouldn't want to leave anybody out that can't understand.
I understand. Well, okay. Well, welcome back, Raheem.
Yeah, fellas, I had to grab my other microphone. I had to find. I guess that Bluetooth audio don't work too well on my
Yeah,
phone.
yeah, this is better. This is better, man. I don't know what
Yeah.
happened with that with the other device that you were using, but it was kind of like breaking up all over the place.
Yeah, it was kind of like a Bluetooth headset, and I thought it'll work pretty
Um,
decent, but it
Oh,
didn't.
I
okay.
gotta excuse me. I gotta address this issue topic. Who says that we're like you ladies being toxic? I mean, really?
I don't know. I don't know about that. I mean, I may have been in a situation when I was younger where I will kind of put up with it a little, somewhat because I was younger. There was no social media, and I didn't know better back then. When I was like like in my mid 20s to late 20s. I mean, yeah. Uh, uh,
What?
Yo conozco los Dusty en Spanish. Nos va a llamar que polvoriento, polvoriento, porque eso es lo que se traduce, los polvorientos. Ajá.
Denise, tenga cuidado porque ya
No,
está
it's
en mi
true, it's true.
casa.
No, es verdad, Morena. Es verdad, Morena. I mean, it's not like we want to be without you. We don't want to be without you, but you make it too difficult to live with you. It's like we can't win.
Well,
Yeah,
actually,
I
okay.
ain't never liked the toxic women ever. I ain't
No,
never liked.
I may have dealt with it a little bit, and I even dealt with one who tried to get me in trouble, who tried to get me arrested and all. But I learned the lesson. I should learn the lesson. No toxicity for me.
Well, my ex-wife was very toxic,
Yeah.
so I don't need another repeat.
Yeah, because like toxic people, when people like you'll deal with women who would try to push your buttons to see how far you will go, and any person that I deal with like that because I perceive all negative energy like I meet aggression with aggression. So when you get aggressive with me and you got negative energy and you think you about to disrespect me, then I go from 10 to 100. And then who want to do that? Nobody want to deal with that. Nobody want to you want to deal with somebody that's loving and nurturing and
Mhm.
somebody that's encouraging and supportive. You don't want to deal with uh, a situation where you got somebody that's trying to push your buttons just because they think you're too nice and want to see how aggressive you would get. That's dumb as hell to me.
Ah, entonces, Denise, yo soy así también.
Según ella, sí.
Morena, you wild for that one. You wild for that one.
Yeah. That one chaser with Manuela. You're with Manuela, huh? like we do of men or women complaining. What do you mean with push buttons, Solana? Women are very nice. Women are very caring and loving and supportive. And you don't appreciate us. That's the problem because you're toxic.
Some women are toxic.
Some women are
Some.
toxic, not all. Some women are definitely toxic, not all. But
No, we get with money.
it's crazy because, like you said, I'd have been in situations like that too. Ramon, I was in a situation where it was one chick that I was talking to, and she pretty much she pretty much got me into a situation where I got into it with some guys, and it escalated into like a situation where it could have got real ugly. After that, I stopped dealing with her, man.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
stopped dealing with her.
yeah. A lot of us guys, because we take risks, we risk having to deal with somebody like that eventually. And yeah, there was that situation in which there was one who kind of like made a scene in front of her relatives, and I couldn't do anything because I was with her relatives around. And there was the other one who tried to who made up a story about me forcing myself on her, and she went to
Oh
the cops and
wow,
all.
yeah.
Yeah, she went to the cops and all. Luckily, in this instance, the police did their job, and they first asked her some questions, and they quickly saw through her bullshit. So
Right.
nothing happened to me. But
Well,
yeah, one is taking a risk. It's getting to that point where a man wants to be in the company of a woman, and he's taking a risk. It shouldn't be like that.
Yeah,
It shouldn't be
I
like that.
remember seeing something on the internet where it was women they was all part of some type of corporate uh, organization or business where they were getting upset because the men did not want to have rooms on the same floor as the women in that corporate in that corporate business, and
and
they're
we
Yeah.
like
have
because
somebody. Good
oh
evening.
Yo,
man, shout out to
what
my
it
brother
do?
Mo. What's up, Mo?
Hey, what's
Yo,
going on,
chilling,
stateside?
chilling, chilling, remote chilling. I just got a story to tell right now about these
Okay.
toxic women, right? Oh man, listen, there's they got all these women talking about how men we ain't shit and this and that, right?
Oh
Who
yeah,
who they think who they think made us like that? Like just like they blame us for how they are, we blame them for how we are. You understand? It goes both ways. We can't be toxic without each other, right? Right?
yeah,
So my thing is, why is always the finger pointing? You got women sitting here saying, "Oh yeah, we need to stop, going at each other and blaming each other for things that happen." But yet you turn around and say, "Oh, it's all your fault." You understand? So how are we supposed to feel, any differently, try to make things work, and not think of women the way they are today in society, when you're still pointing the finger and blaming us for everything. Take some accountability for yourself too. No?
yeah. It's what I was mentioning before. I mean, there are to these certain women that are always that are always deflecting, never taking accountability for their actions. And I was when I was saying that the other group that do the same thing that never take accountability is usually children, because they never take
Exactly.
accountability, and they always blame somebody else for their mess for their messing up. I
Exactly.
mean,
Just like we have poor choices and we make bad decisions and pick the wrong women, so do
yeah,
y'all. That's why we make the same mistakes over and over because we're choosing the same people over and over, the same type of people. Like for women example, y'all choosing the wrong men. Y'all want these bad men, y'all want these tough guys, y'all want these street thugs, and then expect to get a different result from it. Try a real dude, try a humble dude, a dude that's working, that's not in the street, that's not selling drugs, that's not a badass. Try that out for change. Stop taking the stereotype and feeling this is what we need in our lives. We need a strong, thug type of dude, a rugged type of dude. You ain't gonna find nothing when you go that route.
No, but those are
Well,
the ones that they call lame. The
Yes,
boring
exactly.
lames, and they don't want to deal with them because they're lame and boring. Even though those
Uh
are the stable ones that will be loyal and they will be kind of like faithful to them. They're gonna be more likely to be there for the with them for the long haul. But that's not what they want because they're boring. They're too stable. There is security, but there is no excitement. That's kind of like that's the problem there because there is no
There
excitement.
you go.
They get
There
bored.
you go.
That's when the
That's
cheating
it.
starts.
mhm.
And
Guys,
and
Exactly,
another
and they
thing.
think it's a joke. They keep going. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh,
no, but
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, Jose.
you know what gets me is that you have some women who make such poor choices. Okay, as
Hmm.
far as relationship is concerned, they want a man that makes six figures. They want a man who is 6 feet tall. They want a man who has a six pack. And then they want to vet these men up the yang yang. Okay? But heaven forbid if a man tries to vet a woman, it's like, and then they get upset when men ask them what they're bringing to the table. But yet we're supposed to be
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
six,
When a man
six
when a
figure
man asks that,
income. We need to be 6 feet tall. We need to have a six pack. We need to be a traditional male, but yet they don't want to be a traditional female.
Woman. Yeah. Facts. Then and what kills me on top of that, Jose, is when they start saying, like you have this young lady here, beautiful, smart, educated woman, full on, all right. She says, we need a challenge, right? I need a challenge or whatever. I get that. I get that because sometimes I feel that way too. But you know what happens when you meet that challenge? When you're walking out in the street and you have no teeth in your mouth because that dude is beating you up all the time. That's the type of challenge you're looking for because that's what you're gonna run into. You're gonna run into those type of dudes who have no respect for you. That's what kind of challenge you're gonna run into.
No, I agree 100%. They all want that rabid pit bull that they feel that they can say that's protecting them, and they can sick on somebody until that
Yeah.
rabid pit bull turns on them, and then
Hmm.
that's when the problem comes, and that's when the problem comes into play. Because and another thing, the difference between men and women is that, for instance, if we got issues as men and we talking to other men, we don't sugarcoat shit and we don't lie to other men about what they need to do
no,
to get themselves
no, no,
into
no.
a better
We tell it like
situation.
it is.
Women console other women and they lie to other women. You knew what your girlfriend was doing was some fucked up shit. You knew what your girlfriend was doing was dumb. But you're gonna be like, you know what? It's okay, girl. I told you these men ain't nothing out here. And that's what enables them to go on and keep repeating the same mistake over and over until they find themselves into a situation where now they just angry and they're bitter and all men are the same. And the funny thing is, a lot of these good brothers out here that's doing their thing, they invincible to these women. These women don't see
Exactly.
them until it's too late. Now you want a good dude after you done went through all of these dudes out here that's out here in the streets and everything.
Yeah, when you done got
Because
ran through
a
already.
lot of these dudes, yeah, like, and a lot of these dudes, like what Jose was saying, I mean what Ramon was saying earlier. Now the excitement is done. You done had your fun. Now it's time for the security. Now I'm gonna look for a good dude for security. But by that time, like, ain't nobody, unless he just an outright sucker, ain't nobody going for that. Ain't nobody gonna be last choice, and then he know he's there being used for his finances. Nobody's
Well,
Uh,
gonna do
let
that.
me
excuse
let me
me,
let me
guys.
comment on
I
this real
gotta,
quick. Go ahead.
I gotta
Go ahead. Go ahead.
address this. You don't get it. We don't need to bring anything to the table because we are the table. That's why
I was gonna
Oh,
address
here we
we
that.
are gonna
go.
bring all
Here we
those things.
go.
I was gonna address that. That's a toxic woman talking right there. And I know Lennox explaining is capping right now, big time. I know she's trolling or whatever, but that's typically what a broken woman would say. I am the table. You have 9 kids and you talking about you the table. You have like about 30 bodies and you're the table. That's typical of what one broken woman would say, that I am the table. That's a typical response. And I hear that all the time. That's why I ask that question a lot. What do you bring to the table? And only one woman last night came out and said the absolute right thing, which was Julie on my string. But that's exactly a toxic woman right there would say, that I am the table. Like, what do you mean you're the table? What are you bringing? Your body, your good head, good attitude. What are you bringing? You're bringing nothing. You're bringing nothing.
Yeah, that's what they really mean when they say I am the table. It means that
Yeah,
they're not bringing anything. They don't bring nothing. Yeah.
exactly.
Okay, well, okay. You know what? I'm gonna talk. Okay, I'm gonna talk about myself briefly. Okay, granted, I know I'm almost 60 years old, but I have my own place, which I own. I got a secure job. I have no vices, and I have no baby mama drama to deal with. Do
I
you guys
hear
see
that.
anything else?
Yeah, I mean that ain't enough, Jose. What a Birkin bag, man. We gotta
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the chicks gotta take trips. We gotta go to chicks like we gotta go to Milan. We gotta go to Paris. We gotta I gotta
Paris,
take these Instagram
Paris and the
pics.
south of France every month. I mean, so you having your own place. That's not good enough because that's still low key dusty to them. That's not
Thank
good
you,
enough.
Fulan.
You right, I mean, you right, Ramon. That is like that's like it may not be outright dusty, but it's like low key dusty.
Yeah, like that's
Mhm.
not good enough. That's not good enough, because that's how it is. That's how it is with when you give a woman everything, to a woman that is not humble. She's always gonna look for something to complain about. She's always gonna complain,
Mhm.
no matter how much you do, no matter how much
No
you
matter
break
what.
your back
No
to
matter
give
what.
to them.
And
Mhm.
you know
That's
what's
a
messed
fact.
up? Because I told Falana this on the chat yesterday on Moon Stream. The difference between men and women, like for instance, when men work with other men, we're logical, we're straightforward. If we don't like you, we'll tell you we don't like you, or we come to an
Okay.
understanding that we don't like each other and we stay away from each other. Women, on
Yeah,
the other hand, they don't get along, and then a lot of the times they will, you know, talk behind each other's backs, be gossip and everything else, and that has nothing to do with me. That has nothing to do with me. Let you
yeah.
be in a workplace where it's a whole bunch of estrogen, and it's not men there. You'll have a lot of women not getting along, a lot of women trying to get each other fired, women that that
Hmm.
don't that like trying to sleep with this dude that worked there, found out that he's sleeping with this chick, and then like it be a whole lot of that going on.
No, but that's the thing. That's the thing, because all of these women that go on and on talking about that the world will better, will be a better place if all of men are deleted from this world, if all men are
Mhm.
killed and all men are removed from the world. Okay, okay.
Don't fucking kill each
Let's
other.
think about it. Let's think about it. Let's say that it happens. All of us are eliminated, and only women are left in the world. What do you think is gonna happen? I mean, they're going to start fighting each other. They're going to start fighting each other because women are super, ultra, mega competitive, cutthroat with each other over things, especially when it comes to men.
And then who the hell
Especially
is gonna
when it comes to competing. Now that we are here, now that we exist in the world, because there are more women than men, women are already very competitive when it comes to men, and it doesn't have even that. It doesn't even have that much to do with men. It has to do with this competition thing that they have with each other. That they can be
exactly?
brutal, they can be ruthless, they can be cutthroat with each other in ways that women are not. That's something that the women are not going to admit to us, but that's reality. That's
They
reality.
would sleep. They would sleep with a man just to get back at a woman. Like if they don't like that woman, I've seen it happen. They would sleep with her man just to get
Yeah,
to get back at her. Like
yeah.
and then
You can look up a video clip. You can look up a video clip on YouTube from comedian Chris Rock that is called "Women Hate Women," and what he was saying was very true because it's like, okay, part of the joke that he was saying was that let's say that you Rakim, you are with your lady, or Jose, you are with your lady, and you introduce her to me, and you are my friend, and you introduce me to your lady, and I say, oh, she's nice, oh, she's pretty, she's nice. I want to get myself a woman like her, and that's fine. That's fine because I'm not trying to take your woman. I'm not trying to covet your woman. I'm saying that it would be nice if I were to meet somebody like her. That's one thing. But when but when it's a woman and she introduces a friend of hers to her man, then it becomes something else because that's when the competition thing starts to kick in, and the second woman will say, "I gotta get him.
yeah,
I
I
gotta get
remember
I gotta
that.
I gotta get this man's away from this bitch." Then they start thinking like that.
Like
Yeah,
I mean, come
it's
on,
the
we didn't all
competition.
seen those shows where it's situations where like damn man, I done seen shows where it's been situations where the mother would sleep with her daughter's husband and different things. You be like, God damn, really?
Oh shit! Oh shit! No, and the thing is that, and the thing is that it becomes messed up when it comes to I kind of like some kind of incest, not necessarily incest, but you know that there are a lot of adult films that center around like like the the stepdad messes with the new daughter and things like that, and those movies are very popular,
Yeah,
and it's like, but it goes back to that whole coveting thing, trying to be in competition with each other, and it has been said on streams, and I'm sure you have come across those streams when they talk about how uh, women uh, of different ages compete for the same men. I mean, older
exactly.
women,
Yeah,
the
and
women are feel like they are in competition with younger women for the
yeah,
same men, and
yeah,
sometimes mothers and daughters.
yeah. I
When
was just
the
gonna say that. I was just gonna say that,
yeah,
Ramon. Yeah,
even mother and daughters can be in competition with each other, and that's what I'm talking about. That's why you cannot leave the whole world to them because
Uh,
they're gonna kill each other. They're very competitive with each other.
guys, I just gotta address this. Men should have been called
You have been
talk to
called
the
dogs
dust
from them.
powers.
Yeah, Fulana, we are so angry, but we're sitting here laughing because we're so
Uh,
angry, right, Fulana?
You see
guys,
us, you don't see us guys beating each other up.
No, no, because with
guys,
us we can escalate into something deadly. Yes,
Oh
Ramon.
exactly.
yeah.
guys,
Go
did we
ahead.
hit
Go
a
ahead.
nerve tonight?
That's
I
what?
think we hit their nerves. Yeah, I think we hit their nerves a little bit.
Oh,
They're
oh,
very
oh,
angry.
oh, so that,
They're very angry
oh,
in the
so
chat.
Well,
oh, so the trigger is that what it is? The trigger?
Yeah.
Oh,
uh,
oh.
let me just change the topic a little bit.
Uh-oh.
No, no, no. We have to keep the we have to
No,
keep
but
our
okay,
foot on
but
the
it
neck.
has to do with another female.
Uh huh.
Okay, let's
What's
go.
up?
Okay. I don't know if anybody saw the interaction dispute between me and Valentina on Fighter's channel.
Of course.
No, I don't think I saw that one.
I haven't seen it, but that was on the first stream or the second stream with
That was
Valentina.
on both streams.
Oh, so you had a fight with her on both streams because one of them was taken down, I believe.
Yeah, I think the second one. Okay.
Uh,
So basically what happened is she goes on talking about that she's the African Dominican.
uh-huh.
Okay. Now all I said to her was, in order to call yourself Dominican, at least one of your parents have to be Dominican. Okay. And you can call yourself whatever you wish. She got very defensive on the subject.
Okay,
And
yeah,
then
yeah.
on the
She got
second time,
triggered and defensive.
yeah, and then the second time I got on, she tried to stop Fido from allowing me to get on on the panel.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
remember that.
yeah. Triggered and defensive. I don't know why. It wasn't her place. It wasn't really her place. I mean, she's not Dominican. She
Yeah,
doesn't have
and
any
he
business
didn't.
getting triggered for it.
And he didn't even say anything that was disrespectful. He just, made
No.
an assessment and commented, and just made a little point. And she took it as him going at her, like disrespecting her. And it wasn't even like that. It wasn't even like that.
Yeah.
Now, you've seen how I function. I don't say anything negative. I don't say anything disrespectful. Okay. Now the
Yeah,
fact of
like
the
Fulana
fact of the
said.
matter is this: is she got
Go ahead.
upset with me being polite and asking a pointed question. What the hell she's going to do when she deals with someone that speaks to her with no filter?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we know that God, there are people here in these YouTube streets that do speak without a filter.
Mm-hmm. But the thing is that if she were a kid, if she were kind of like a youngster who still has some growing up to do, that would be one thing. But she's a grown woman. She should know better than to be reacting like that.
And
Yep.
look at the comment. Exactly.
No, I know you didn't disrespect her. I know you didn't.
I just asked a poignant question. That's all.
Yeah.
Yo,
No,
Denise,
but
you told it
Fulana
like
is
a
right.
mother.
No, it's true what Fulana said that she got triggered because you asked her, you were a grown man asking a real question, and she got triggered
Mhm.
by it.
And
So
she contradicted herself at least twice.
exactly.
Okay, no one else picked it up. I think the only one that picked it up was Moonchaser.
Yep.
Yeah.
Again, Moonchaser, was I disrespectful in any way, shape, or form?
Not at all. Not at all. Not one bit. Not one bit.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying that, because it's a man and woman thing. Nah, it wasn't even at all. Compared to what everybody else was doing, that was like nothing. That was an honest question. That was an honest question, and she took it wrong.
Yeah.
That was just what it was.
I don't know if it has something to do with having an identity crisis or whatever. I mean, that should be a that should be a question for her though. After
Yo,
the call.
why you want credit, Fulana? Why you want credit? I'm not giving you no credit for what. Y'all women always want credit for something. Fuck out of here. Out of here. Always looking for recognition. Get in line, woman. Know your place. Men are talking here. Respect.
Okay, let's see what's.
No, Fulana did. She did hear it. She did hear it first, and I was like, "What?" Yeah, we caught that.
But
We caught that though.
like I'm sure you fellas pretty much have seen, like, things have gotten out of hand, like especially with this toxic femininity when you start having women creating channels to, combat the narrative out here that all men
Hmm.
are evil. And when you start seeing women like, nah, we gotta change this, because it's just
Yeah.
like, I don't know, it's gotten to the point where women just want to do whatever they want to do without any consequences behind it. And like it's like if I go in here and I, light this house on fire after pouring gasoline all over the place, you put it out. And that's pretty much what we're dealing with at this particular point. It's like nothing can ever be, like, me personally, I like, remember when you was told as a kid that women mature quicker than men? I never saw that.
Yeah.
I never saw that growing up. I really didn't. Because I'm like,
Believe that.
y'all,
Believe that.
y'all,
Yeah, I was told that too. But unfortunately, we're kind of seeing that that's not necessarily the case all the time. I mean, I guess
Anymore, I would say. Anymore,
the whole
anymore.
maturity thing. I think that the whole maturity thing that has to do with upbringing and culture
Hmm.
and the
Yeah.
traditions that one is brought up in. Because if you're being brought up uh, in some kind of pop culture bullshit, I mean, you can be 27 years old and still not mature, and a woman.
Right,
I
right.
mean,
That's true.
we kind of have seen it. We have
That's
seen
what
it.
we're
There are
doing. That's what we're seeing now. Like what you were saying, Ramon. Like earlier, just like for instance, you see women now that's like trying to be friends with their daughters. Like, like
they're in
like
competition with them because
yeah,
they didn't grow mature and became mothers. They're trying to be their children's friends, and that's not how that works. And all they're gonna do is mess up their children because they're not being parents. They're trying to be friends with their children, and that's not that. It doesn't work like that. Or there are these instances in which you have these young mothers. Maybe they had the mother. I'm not passing judgment on that, but we all know that there are many young mothers that had a kid when they were still teenagers, and when the kid grows and the daughter becomes a teenager, also the mom is still fairly young. I mean, we all have seen those memes in which you got the 38-year-old mother with an 18-year-old daughter, and they all look alike, and they and they
Hmm.
yeah,
look like
yeah,
they're
yeah.
the
We
same
saw that.
age,
Yep.
and they look like tots and all. We
Yeah,
Hmm.
they
all have seen
smoking with
those
their
memes.
kids and all that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They go partying with the kids, and they
Uh
use
huh.
the same clothes, and that like they're not growing. They're not growing. They're using they're using the same. They're wear the mother and the daughter. They're wearing the same thought clothing and outfits. Look at Bernice Burgos. Look her up. But
Oh
Bernice
yeah,
Burgos,
yeah.
she's like a grandma who dresses the same as her thought daughter. I mean, and they go to partying. Um,
Strip clubs together. And,
they go to the parties and strip clubs together, wearing the same outfits. And I mean, come on, one is supposed. It's like they're sisters. They're kind of more like sisters. One older than than the other. When it's really mother and daughter. It doesn't set a
Excuse
good
me,
example. It's a
excuse
mess.
me, Denise. The link is on again. If you wish to opine on the
Hmm.
panel for even for a couple minutes.
Chickens, chickens
yeah,
that
like
can't
we're
handle their heat. Go back in the kitchen.
Actually, no,
we
no.
talk.
Actually, Denise. Actually, older women are actually easier to talk to. Well, joking.
Yeah, older
Oh
women
I'm
are
yeah,
not really
actually
that
easier
interested.
to get. Older women are easier
They're
to
a
get.
little
Just like
easier
I was
to
saying,
talk to because they're.
all my
Uh-huh.
yeah, they're desperate. You know, they're desperate for a man, especially a single mom. You know, a single woman who's older and hasn't had a man. They're desperate, so they're easier to get. You just treat them nice for a little while, and you can get them, and then you just dump the asses. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
No, but ladies, we didn't say anything that we want to get with a 19-year-old. We're not getting with somebody who can be
no,
young enough to be our
yeah,
daughter, and we didn't say
no,
that, ladies.
no, no, not at all. We
Uh,
talking about like women within our generations and everything, especially what we see online, Fulana. But the crazy thing is, with the younger generation, it's worse because they've grown up seeing the older generation, and they see what they doing is more acceptable, and they turning it up a notch.
Yeah.
Like, and it's sad because like, and two, a lot of it has to like, for instance, like with the music and everything, Beyonce, Megan Thee Stallion,
Yeah.
Nicki, the City Girls, like all of them then push this rhetoric out there. And the crazy thing is, like a lot of these girls grow up believing that in their subconscious, and all of these women got men, and or they married,
Most
but
of them.
they yeah,
Most
most
of them,
of them,
because Megan is the one who doesn't know how to choose yet. She hasn't learned.
yeah, yeah. So
uh,
But
like,
the other ladies, they have a whole husband. They have husbands, but they push to you being single, strong, and independent.
Okay.
That you don't need a man,
And
and
that
that
and that
you're getting older and you
yeah.
are getting more bitter because you're not getting what you want. But
And that
you
made me come to the conclusion too, and I think all the fellas on the panel that can agree to this, because that made me come to the conclusion that I think women like being lied to. I
yes,
think women like being
there is
lied
money
to.
in that. There is money in that in lying to women. Yes, ladies, there is money in lying to you. That's why Beyonce is so rich. That's why Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, they're making mad money telling you what you want to hear, lying to you. What do you think? How do you think Oprah Winfrey became so rich? Think about it. Think about it, ladies. It was by telling you, ladies, what you wanted to hear. There is a lot of money in that.
Hmm. Let me. That's a great segment. Segment point there. I wanted to ask you, gentlemen, this right. Do you think the reason why men are venting out more, nowadays is because maybe women always had like a platform, like Oprah Winfrey, like you just said, she always had a platform for women to vent to dog men, pretty much, and Ellen DeGeneres, and all these women social media sites, and they had all these avenues for the women to go vent, right? So now
Yeah.
now men are like, you know what, we're sick of women talking crap about us. So now more men are opening up more social media like YouTube and things like that, and venting and fighting back and speaking up when like they should have a long time ago, but they thought that they were
Yeah,
soft
Mo.
because they didn't speak up against women. Do you agree with that, any of you?
I agree. I agree, Moon, because we got to remember too, it was so many shaming tactics back then. Even today, they still try to use those same shaming tactics, where even to the point that other men believe that. Like you'd be like, "Yo, what's up with all of these women talking down on us?" And all, ah, man, they just women, man. Don't listen to them. They just let that go in one ear out the other. Like we heard a lot of this growing up. Even though we constantly was getting messages of us being repeatedly bashed in the media, in talk shows, and like all of this other stuff. And even like now, right? A lot of women don't like Kevin Samuels. And the funny thing is,
Right.
like, Kevin Samuels started out, he was bashing men for 3 years before
Oh, he was being
Facts.
harsh.
Facts.
I
he
came
was
across
being
I
he was
came
being
across some of his
yeah.
older videos in which he was being harsh as fuck with men, not with women, with men. He was being really direct, really harsh. He wasn't pulling punches. He wasn't cuddling men. Whoever told you that Kevin Sowers was cuddling men lied to you. That's not true. That's not true. That whole thing. The man was really hard and harsh on guys. So
Hell yes.
no, no. With women, he's actually softer. He's actually softer with women, but he's still direct, and that's what a lot of women don't like. The fact that he's direct. He's not
Hmm.
coddling. He's not gonna be telling you what you want to hear. Ladies, if you want a man to tell you what you want to hear, watch Steve Harvey. That's what he does. That's what he does.
or,
Well,
or or Derek
guys,
Jackson.
Oh
Can't
man.
Yeah,
forget
yeah.
Derek Jackson.
What do you
guys.
think? How do you think that Steve Harvey has become so rich? The same way that Oprah did, by telling women what they want to hear, not what they need to hear.
Oh man.
Oh,
Even
look,
capital
look, look
Y'all
at
surprise.
women
this.
are lunatic.
Now is your okay? Yeah, yeah, sure, Dennis, sure, Dennis. Uh-huh.
and
Yeah,
um
sure.
and one
Uh-huh.
thing I was just going to cover, like with us, we're taught at a young age that the world is cold for
Mhm.
us, man. We taught at a young age, like even like with older men dealing with us, like as young kids, like, look, man, don't nobody care. So whatever, however you feel about something, you better get out of your feelings and get your head in the game. We taught that
Yeah,
as young children, like
yeah,
at 13, 14. Like, for instance, you got, boys that's taught, like, even their mothers, you need to man up. Boys don't cry. boy, like
Oh yeah.
shit,
Oh
like
yeah.
and you could be
Oh
going
yeah.
through.
Like we don't have feelings and emotions.
We don't have feelings, anything. Like
Of
boys go
course.
through terrible. Like for instance, like even on your stream yesterday, Moon. Like I was saying earlier, you grew up in the Bronx. Like even at that time, they don't realize like what a lot of boys go through from young kids to adults. Like
Yeah.
you
Hmm.
got violence outside. You got all types of shit you got to deal with.
That's all you
Like
see.
that's like
All
Excuse
you
me,
and
see is
guys.
negative.
like
All you see is negative, negative.
right.
Okay. Excuse me, guys. I want to address the ladies on the chat. There's going to be a part 2, so I'm just going to be curious. How many of you ladies are actually going to join the panel for part 2?
No, no, but I
Okay,
mean,
now, first of all, I have dropped the link several times for the ladies to
Hmm.
join the panel. How many ladies are in the panel right now?
nah, that don't
Well, there
matter.
was 3 or 4. There was 4, but one is cloud watching. The other one is I don't know where, and then you have 2 left.
Okay.
You know.
Fulano, the actual question, next Sunday it's going to be part 2.
Next Sunday. Yeah,
Yeah,
Next
let's do it.
join
Sunday.
Let's do it.
Fulana.
This is good. This is good. I mean, we need to
Support Jose's channel
we need
and
to
join
we need to
Fulana.
support what this narrative. No, when it comes to what Fulana was saying, okay, you can say that we're hurt, that we're in our feelings, but you cannot say that we're lying, though. Okay, call us
That's
hurt.
true.
Call us hurt. Okay, if that makes you feel better, call us hurt. You can't say that we're liars.
In fact, you know what I'm going to do? Because normally I air like at 8:45. I'm going to push it to. I'm going to bring it to 8 o'clock, so therefore we can devote more time to part 2.
Yeah,
And let's see
yeah.
how many women join
And
the
I'm
panel.
Oh,
and I'm gonna
see,
do a lot more
they're gonna
studying
call
and bring
us.
more facts.
You, that's toxic. All this toxic masculinity because all these men
Okay.
are so abusive and violent, and you
Exactly.
terrorists, you dust balls. Yeah, we need to bring the dust buster to this dust bowl.
Now, guys,
See, I can't even be mad
have
at
I
Denise because
been
I know she
have I been
told it.
partial, or have I
No,
been
no,
giving
no,
it the
no.
straight facts?
Nah, you've been giving it to the woman. You haven't been partial, Jose.
Okay, I've been fair, right? I've been quiet. I
I'm
said
kidding.
it
I'm
like
kidding.
I don't know how many times.
Yeah, you have been putting
Hey,
on the
gave him
link.
the opportunity.
And another
Yeah,
thing
just
too, I
letting
just
us
wanted
roast
to
you.
another thing too, I just wanted to cover because I was hearing like a lot of people talking about the percentage of men in churches that have they decrease. A lot of young boys are not going to church. I'm like because like with men, just like I was saying a minute ago, we have a strong relationship with the truth. So we don't like nobody to lie to us. Like if you like if
Hmm.
like you going through if you going through shit or like you go to these churches like if it's like for instance if the pastor tell you come to church and like I can remember especially within the black community the churches was a place where people can go and find out information to get opportunities jobs and different things like that that no longer exists and what you're dealing with is a lot of pastors and everything that just lie to a bunch of women to give them hope like men don't go off of hope. We can't go off of hope. So you're not gonna see a lot of young boys or men in there that's looking for work or they unemployed and stuff going there just to be lied to make themselves feel better about themselves. We know when something is BS, and they not gonna go in there and just be like you know what yeah I'm gonna listen to this and like after a while you're gonna be like nah this ain't doing nothing for me.
Well
Yeah,
said.
yeah. No, no, because that whole thing, it the church serves. Well, I know. We got Jose. I know that you are kind of like a more of a church going person. I respect that, but that a lot of the time when it comes to going to church, it serves more of an emotional purpose for women. It serves more women. I mean, single men don't go to church like that. I mean, it's usually the married men that they have to go because their wives tell them to. It's it's different, but there is a reason why single men don't go to church like that, and because we have to live in reality, in real life, and we have to deal with we have to handle our business in the real world, and sitting up in church is not gonna solve all problems like that.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you enjoy yourself, but hopefully you can join the panel next week so you can give your perspective. And of course, even though we disagree, it's a safe environment for everyone to share.
Yeah. Yeah. Nobody's gonna attack anybody because of a difference of opinion. I mean, it's not like in other in other spaces where it can get ratchet and people go at each other and it works for them. Okay, that's fine. We're not gonna be
Okay.
criticizing them for that, but it's not for us over here.
Well,
It's not the same.
guys, I'm going to start to wrap this up. Usually I don't go 3 hours. This is like a record. This is almost like a
Yeah. Well, that's because it was good. No, no,
You're
but
welcome,
I have to
sir.
talk too. Yeah, yeah,
Well,
this was a
okay,
good one.
so what I'm gonna do, guys, I'm gonna start to take final remarks. So I'm gonna start with the intro Boricua.
Ah, and yes, sir. Don Jose, I appreciate you letting me on your panel. I couldn't get in earlier because I was dealing with something, and I have to get back to it because of a situation. But I appreciate very much you letting me on your panel. This turned out to be a good stream, very good stream, very timely subject that we're dealing with here. This is important,
Mhm.
and I'm all for the continuation of it because this is just scratching the surface as far as I'm concerned. So I'm looking forward to continuing this conversation. So I'm gonna be stepping out, and I'm looking forward to the next stream. We'll be in touch. Appreciate it, Don Jose.
Well,
And
thank
of course to the chat, thanks for listening and adding to the chat, ladies. I love you, I still love you, but if I disagree with you, I disagree with you. And that's just how it is. And also to my guys, the 18 letter Rakim Moon Chaser, hey, I appreciate you coming onto the panel. It was good talking to you. So I'm gonna be stepping out,
Same here,
and
brother.
yeah. You guys take care, and let's do this again. Let's do this again. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, thank you. I just before you go, I just want to let people know. Please um, take a look at the Intro Borica's channel. Subscribe, like, and follow him because he's another YouTuber that we all got to support each other. So I'm gonna if you can stay, you can stay. If not, I understand. So I'm gonna put you in the backstage. Now we're gonna have the 18th brother in his final remarks.
Yeah. Shout out to my boy Ramon. Shout out to my brother Moon right here. And yeah, like I think this has been a great stream. You know, like Ramon was saying, of course I love women. Love women. It's like, you know, everything about a woman as far as, you know, the conversations you can have with women, that feminine touch, a woman's nurture, her intuition on things, love women. But we got to speak about the toxic people that's doing a lot of damage, ladies, and you know it's a lot of them. It's damn near an army of them. So, but yeah, I thought it was a great stream. I thought it was a great stream. We got a chance to come up here and just, you know, speak about the things that we see that's going on with this toxic femininity. Things is not like, I don't know if people are aware, but we're losing masculinity. It's either masculinity is either go
Mhm.
one or two ways. Either you're gonna get somebody that's very like it's getting to that point where boys are like, they're wired to be masculine. So they're having challenges with that. So they're either going to go one or two ways. Either they're going to become very beta like, and they're going to become very timid, or they're going to become very, very aggressive. And those are the only two type of men that is looking to exist, because masculinity is being suppressed to the point that, it's damn near like shameful to be a man. And that's what we're dealing with in society right now, between the promotion on, of different television shows and Netflix shows, and social media and music and all of this other stuff. Like, we don't even have, when we was coming up, we had Jean Claude Van Damme movies, Steven Seagal movies, different action and different things. We don't even have any of that no more. So that's pretty much all I have to say. So.
Well, thank you very
Salute to
much,
you, G.
Raheem, for showing your point of view. So now I'm going to put you in the backstage. Now, Moon Chaser, your final words.
Final words. Well, I could have a whole lot of final words, but I'm gonna keep this one pretty short. What I have the my final words would be, towards women in general. You guys need to learn how to let us be men. Let us be men so we can let y'all be women. Y'all should go back to being women and feminine. Stop trying to be so masculine and want to, rule the world. You know what I'm saying? That's not your place. That's not your place. You don't belong there. You belong in the kitchen, cleaning, cooking, taking care of that children, taking care of that child, and washing clothes. That's what y'all need to be. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Nah, but on a serious note, I just think that we need to work more together, and stop pushing and pointing the finger at each other, because all that's doing is separating us even further, and that's what's going on in this world. We keep pointing fingers. Oh, it's your fault that the way things are going in our relationships, and then we go and we point the finger back. No, but it's your fault. No, we need to come to some kind of common ground and accept, that we both make mistakes and poor choices in our relationships and our decisions. And when we've finally figured that out and stop pointing fingers and stop hating each other because of the things that happened in our past, the better we'll be for it. That's pretty much what I have to say there. And I,
Well,
I
first of all,
appreciate you doing this stream. Also, I'm sorry. I appreciate you doing this stream, Jose. Also, because this is more up my alley. Because I tend to struggle with this subject a lot. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely appreciate it, and that's why I joined, because it was something I could probably contribute more to. So I appreciate that. Thank you for letting me on.
well, I thank you for blessing my humble cyber home. When whenever you are available, you're more than welcome to join the panel. You do have a channel. I just want to encourage everyone to support Moon Chasers channel, because they talk about different things. Um, you know, it's um, it's a little spicier at times, but it's okay because we all need a little spice in our lives sometimes. So I really do appreciate it. And I'm going to start to follow you on Instagram, because at some point I would like to interview you on my channel if you would consider.
Cool. Absolutely.
Okay. So I'm gonna
All right.
put you in the background. If you can stay, stay. If not, I appreciate it. Again, thank you very much for making
No
your
problem.
presence felt.
Appreciate you. Talk to you later.
Okay. All right. Take care. Now I'm going to give you my final words. As I stated, I don't know how many times. Not all women are toxic. Some women are, and what the women who are not toxic, what they need to do is they need to have a serious discussion with their toxic sisters to help them to heal what is their psychosis, why they act the way they act. A lot of the times, women act this way because of trauma, and I think what we all need is to get some therapy so we don't bring our emotional garbage into future relationships. I just want to let everybody know there's going to be a part two next Sunday, but it's going to be on at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, and 7 o'clock Central Standard Time, because I want to give more time for this discussion. This Thursday, I'm going to have a short video regarding the crisis regarding medical debt. A lot of people are dealing with medical bills which have gone through the roof because of certain situations. So we're going to have a discussion about that. So I'm going to close the same way that I always close. People, do not let the errors of the past ruin your future. And that being said, I just want to make sure. Okay. So I just got to bid everybody good night. Oops. Let's get this one more comment. Okay. All right. Just want to make sure I get all the comments in. I'm sorry about that. And take care. Have a good night and peace.